sitting nice and tall, roll back slowly, lengthening through the arms, really articulating through each bone as you roll all the way back, letting go of the legs. Pull one knee to the chest, stretch the hip, switch to the other side. Rotate all the way over across your center. And then do the same thing on the other side, taking your time to get a nice twist in the waist and a stretch in that shoulder. Bend the knees, feet flat on the floor. And we'll lift one leg up, then the other leg up. Alternating one leg and then the other. Simply from the hip. Knees stay bent in your tabletop position. Really pulling that navel towards the spine. Now we'll hinge from the hip with both legs simultaneously. Really giving yourself a little challenge for spine stability and abdominal strength. And then we go right into single leg stretch, reaching the right leg, then the left leg, bending the knee, stretching the knee, trying to never let that knee pass your hip bone. And then we'll go right into bicycles, reaching straight up and straight down, low to the floor, about 90 degrees up towards the ceiling if you can. Reaching long, really working those legs and your abdominals. And then go into the reverse bicycle, something great for your coordination. Reach it down and then lift. Down towards the floor, straight up towards the ceiling. Breathing consciously as you go. Pull the knees to the chest for a little stretch. And then bend the knees, feet flat, hip width. Reach your arms up over your head. And try to just slowly lift your hips up. And maybe, if this feels good to you, place your hands behind your back under the pelvis. And try to give yourself a little lift there. It may feel really wonderful on your shoulders, on your back. Let go, roll down, and we'll go right into some bridges. Roll up if that feels good. If not, just lift straight up in one piece. We call a plank, right? Plank up, plank down. Or articulate up and articulate down. And just repeat that a few times. Really wonderful for strengthening the back, the glutes and the hamstrings. All right. Taking your time, lifting and lowering. And we lift, not forgetting to breathe, and lower. And lift, and lower. And let's bring our arms back down by our sides. Lift the hips, and we'll go right into marching. With the hips up, we draw one leg up bent in the tabletop position, alternating from the right to the left. And just notice if you feel a little less stable on one side than the other. Try to keep the pelvis really stable as you alternate the legs. And then we do that a few times. Lower down, draw the knees to the chest for a little stretch. Great low back stretch. A little hip opening. Place the feet back on the ground. Hip width. Roll right back up. This time let's stretch one leg up to the ceiling and then lower it so the knees are straight across from each other. Pointing the foot up, flexing the foot to lower. And point up, flex down. And then we can switch to the other side, reach it out, flex it down, point it up. Working those thighs, glutes, hamstrings, strong back. And conscious breath as we go. And then we'll lower it all the way back down to the floor. And we'll do a little hip twist here. Bending one leg, just rotate over to one side. And then switch to the other side, taking your time. Breathe into this stretch. Try to relax the neck and shoulders. All right, bring the arms over the head. And we'll circle around. Grab your legs if you need to curl all the way back up to a sitting position. Pull on the knees to lengthen out into a little extension there. And then we just roll all the way back down to the floor. And we'll go right into a low leg lift, really working your quads this time. Still engaging the abdominals. Be aware that your abdominals are working, your neck and shoulders relaxed, shoulder blades heavy. Okay, and we go into some circles there. In one direction. And then stabilizing the pelvis, we'll go in the opposite direction. And breathing as we move, trying to stabilize the hips. And then same thing on the other leg. Leg lifts, straight up, straight down. Nice and low for now. And keep checking yourself. Awareness of the whole body as we move the leg around into the circle. Little low circles. And strengthening the low abdominals as we move and we reverse. Try to feel symmetry on the right and left side of the body, reaching through that opposite leg that's resting on the floor. So the whole body is active here. And then we lift one leg straight up, about 90 if you can. And let's see if you can roll up, grab behind the leg, walk up the leg, get a nice hamstring stretch there. Bend the knee, lower down. Same thing on the other side. Grab the leg, walk up the leg, hold, stretch. Yes, using your abdominals there as well. Bend the knee, lower it down. And then we'll go right into big leg circles, single leg circles. Up, out, down, and up. Yes, crossing over the midline. Circling down, around, and up. Try to exhale on the up. Nice and smooth movement. Stable hips, or as stable as you can. And we go up. And then we can reverse. Up. Really reaching through that heel. Stretching the back of the leg as you circle. If you feel a burn in your thigh, That's absolutely normal. And a little clicking in the hips happens as well, as long as it's not painful. Should be fine. And then we switch and do the other side. Lift, flex that foot and lift on the exhale. And lift, and lift. Really no wrong way to breathe, as long as you're breathing and conscious of the breath with the movement. Exhaling, inhaling, using your abdominals to move. And we can reverse the direction. Keep the neck and shoulders relaxed. Arms long. Shoulder blades nice and heavy on the floor. And then lower that leg down. Lengthen both legs out. We can do a nice little stretch. Again, from side to side. Stretching the hips, the ribs, the waist. The leg comes up. And we reach it over. Lengthening through that opposite arm. And then lifting the leg back up. Both legs come down. Lengthen the arms over the head and try to roll up slowly, really pulling in the abdominals to lift up. Curl forward, reach towards your feet, get a nice stretch there in the hamstrings, lower back, lengthen up tall, hands behind the head, tilt back, hinging from the hips, and then slowly roll back. Let's try it again, arms overhead, reach arms to ceiling or to the sky, pull the navel in, reach your arms forward towards your feet. If you can, reach as far forward as you can. Hands behind the head, hinge back. Go about 45 degrees back if you can, and then slowly go into the articulation all the way back to the floor. And we roll forward again. Reach forward. Nice stretch. Knees bent or straight, whatever you're able to do. And then last time we go back. Hinging back, strong abdominals here. And then nice and slow into an articulation all the way back down to the floor. And let's bend the elbows back behind the head and try to press up into a nice back bend. As long as this feels okay on your back and legs and your body in general, then go ahead and do the back bend. See if you can bend and stretch from the elbows. Get some arm strength exercise. Really letting go of the hips, shoulders and neck. And we slowly come down. Pull the knees to the chest. You can do a little hip opening. Face down on your mat, bend your elbows, hands flat by your shoulders, and press the chest up, lengthening through the neck, through the crown of the head. Make sure your ribs and abdominals are pulled in to support your lower back. Reach through the legs. engaging the muscles in your legs, your seat. Stretch the feet all the way through the toes. Everything active here. And then we can do a little extra stretch. Pressing up high. And then we'll go right into flight, arms long by your sides. Reach your chest up, chin in, length through the back of the neck, and pulse the arms up and up and up. Shoulder blades pulling down and in, still reaching through the toes. Pulling your abdominals in to support that back. And then we can go into a child's pose and stretch the back out and the shoulders, reaching the arms nice and long. On all fours now, length through the spine, from the tailbone through the crown of the head. We'll go into the cat-cow stretch. Flexing the spine, lift your navel in, your spine towards the sky or the ceiling, rounding the back. Come back to a straight spine or neutral spine, and then extend, reaching tailbone and crown to the sky. And then flex again. And straighten out. And do that a couple of times, using the breath as you go. Next, we'll twist the spine laterally, looking back at your hip. Now we're stretching the side. We come to the center and then stretch to one side. Reach the legs out, right into plank here. Hold, shoulders down, ribs, abdominals in, strong arms, strong waist, strong legs. Engage the muscles in your legs and seat. And then a nice child's pose. Always fun after plank. And we'll pop up into our down dog. Keeping those shoulder blades pulled down. Long length through the spine. We can do some elbow bends here to work the arms. Just bending, try to touch the elbows to the mat. And then stretch. And then lift the heels, lower the heels. Reach one leg up. Bend the knee, rotate the waist, and try to open that hip. Lengthen the leg. Bring it down. Other side, same thing. Square hips, then bend and open the hips. And come back to center. Reach the leg. Bring it down. And get a nice stretch before we bend the knees and come back into a little child's pose. I love child's pose. It's a great way to make sure that your lower back is stretched out. And then we can go down and press back up into an extension, the opposite of child's pose. Clasp the hands, reach your knuckles to your heels, lift the chest, engaging abdominals, bend the elbows lower, turn the head on the mat, and then lift and reach, looking down, chin in, reach your knuckles to the heels, bend the elbows lower, and look the other way on the mat. And again, breathing as you go. Always making sure you're trying to engage your abdominals when you lift the chest off the mat. Bend, elbows lower. And we press up. And place the forearms on the mat. Make sure here that your shoulders are down, neck is long, ribs pulled in the front, navel pulled in. We lift the leg, bend, and try to kick yourself your seat with your heel. And then the same thing on the other side. We lift the leg, bend the knee, pulse, lengthen the leg, lower, and repeat other side. We're trying to release the knee joint, and we're working the glutes and the hamstrings, strengthening the back. And now if this feels good on your body, grab your feet by bending the knees, press the backs of the hands into the top of your feet, lift the chest, great stretch for hips and thighs and shoulders. Still trying to engage the low belly here. Try with one leg, pressing the chest up and pressing into that foot. Try it on the other side. And then we can stretch the lower back out again. And then we'll go right into mermaid, sitting on one hip. Reach one arm in line with the shoulder. Press up, reach the waist to the sky, rotate, reach, arm comes up, lower down. And pull the shoulder down, reach up, way up, hips high, arm comes up, rotate from the waist, pull the waist in, reach out, up, and carefully down. You can do about 3 on one side. Twist, reach, waist pulls in, lengthen out, arm comes up, and we lower down. And then you can stay seated, knees bent, reach the opposite way, grab your wrist, give yourself a nice little stretch in the shoulder there, and then rotate and place your arms on the leg. And then we do the same thing on the other side. Placing your hand in line with that shoulder, shoulder blade down, shoulder nice and stable. Press up, lift your hips up as high as you can. Lengthen the arm up, rotate, look behind yourself if you can. Reach out, up, and then slowly come down. And again, same thing, always breathing consciously as you go. Twist, lengthen, arm up, lower down. Last one, reach it out. Make sure your waist is engaging. Navel pulls in here to twist. Reach up with the arm and then down, and we'll reach over the other way, staying seated. Grab the wrist, pull, rotate, relax your head, and just get a nice stretch here. The last thing I like to do is try to open the hips. Try to sit cross-legged. And if that doesn't feel so good, you can put the soles of your feet together and grab your shins and pull your feet towards yourself. Press into one leg and rotate. Press onto the other leg, on that knee or your thigh. Rotate. Use your legs to pull and lift your chest up. And then we can try reaching one leg out straight. Rotate towards that leg, one hand on either side of the leg. Look down and breathe into a nice stretch there. And then the other side. Rotating one hand on either side of the leg. Reach over the leg, hang the head, use your breath, enjoy the stretch, even if it's a little painful. Painful in a good way though. Should feel like your muscles are stretching. And that's it for my little Pilates based mat workout. Thank you for watching.